Welcome back to the Locker Room Report, brought to you by Henry Ford Health. I'm Brady Beedon, joined by head coach Tyrone Wheatley. Coach, we always take a look back before we go forward in these. Last week, a very tough one out at Ferris State. You get shut out. What were the positives you found when you look back at film? Because obviously in the moment, easy to be negative. What positives did you find from that?
Well, once again, like I said, we're a young team, and we're looking at these young men that are playing. They're playing hard, not giving up. We were outmatched. I mean, it was one of them old ones where they took us out in the back of the shed. But as you come out, as my grandmother would say, as you come out behind that shed, you get a little tougher. Skin get a little thicker, and you learn what not to do and what to do. And what we learn not to do is not so much rely on our athleticism. Once again, there's a thing called technique, and we have to use it. Kind of just going to our defensive line a little bit. They were just thinking they can get off the ball and run. Well, if you run real fast, you'll run right by someone. The old saying is two ships in the night, but you have to play your technical aspects of the game. And as we're growing and we're learning, they're getting there, right? So they're getting there and they're still going. Those are some things we not to do. But what happened was they still played. Didn't make a difference whether it was Ferris State 2s in there. These guys, they still played. The score we talk about, we don't care about the score, but just continue to play. And at some point in time, it will click and it will roll. And it will begin to, those days where people putting those numbers on us, we'll be able to reciprocate and do the same.
What has been something, maybe it was in the Ferris game or something else, where you're saying, okay, I see this is starting to click for us, that maybe didn't against Tiffin or earlier in the year, then now you're saying, yes, this is starting to click?
Well, you and I, we have these conversations about, okay, we start slow, we end slow, but we're starting to start a little faster now. We're able to start putting more drives together in the offense. Still have to do a little bit better on third, well, not a little bit, a lot better on third downs, but we're starting to get out and get out fast and get it going. But that's one of the things we're starting to do better.
You rotated both Carson and Champion in that game. Was that just to get guys reps? What was the thought process behind that? I know both guys struggled, but everyone struggled in that game. So what was the thought process there, and what can we expect going forward at the quarterback position?
Well, the big thing was, yes, Champ was struggling earlier, and it wasn't a fact of just rotating the guys. It was probably a little more of a necessity because, like, Champ was struggling. He didn't see it, and there were some simple things that he just – I just really can't understand why. I wish I had an answer. Film session, he didn't have one, but Carson came in, and we was kind of hoping that he could pick it up and go through it. But, moving forward, hopefully we'll kind of get Champ back to see where he's at and move forward from that point on.
Here with Wayne State head coach Tyrone Wheatley ahead of his matchup against Davenport, coming home against a Panther team that just barely fell at home to Michigan Tech. That was a low-scoring battle. What do you see with this Davenport team, and what can the fans expect coming into Tom Adams?
Well, as always, Sparky Adams team, Sparky teams is always physical. They're going to play good defense, right? They're going to play really good defense. That's the battle, right, that you talked about against Michigan Tech. Offensively, they're athletics. They're going to put the ball down for you. They're going to push it vertical. Oh, Al Davis, man, they love the vertical passing game. So right now, the biggest thing for us is just the same thing, preaching it over and over and over. Put our game together. Don't worry about what they do. It's how we play and what we do. And to stay on the field, convert on third down, stop them, and basically keep the ball.
So with, we've mentioned before, sometimes slow start, sometimes a slow finish. Is there something, when you're struggling, you look at everything as a possible answer. Is it something, maybe a change up the pregame routine, change up the halftime routine, or is it just the team needs to mature a little bit?
Well, it's a little bit of everything, right? But you can't change up everything because now you still have to get in that rhythm, right? They just have to buy into the rhythm. They just have to buy into it. And once again, a lot of it is immaturity. It is immaturity. It's just one of those deals where when teams make their second half adjustments, we make our adjustments. We kind of say, hey, this is what they're coming out in. And, well, a guy just says sometimes, I think I still could do what I was doing in the first half.
Right.
Nope. Here's the adjustment, fellas. And we have an answer for it. And once again, it's just going down to it. But a lot of it, because I am the head coach, a lot of it does start with me. And sometimes maybe I need to change in terms of giving guys a little too much what they can't handle, if that makes sense. So
all right, Davenport coming into town, and we know it's going to be a tough game. What are the keys to Wayne State getting the first win on the year?
Once again, they're going to run the ball. They have always, they do a really good job running the ball. And once again, like we talked about, he loves this vertical game. He's going to go deep on us. So annihilate the deep pass and big plays, stop the run, and for us, control the ball, possess the ball, convert on third down.
Coach, I always appreciate it. Good luck against the Panthers in this one. Should hopefully celebrating a win to Tom Adams.
Thank you very much, and I'm sorry for calling him Sparky Anderson. I caught that for a second.
Yeah, it's just from Detroit. You got it's just deep in the subconscious. So he's head coach Tyrone Wheatley. I'm Brady Beedon, and you're listening to the Warrior Sports Network.